What is up, beautiful souls? I want to talk today about moving things from the 3D to the spiritual remembrance of why we attract relationships, whether you use karmic, soulmate, or twin flame. I really don't care about any of that terminology so much, other than rather to give a remembrance that before we came here, we probably made contracts with other souls in that in our evolution and our growth, we would meet up, we would mirror things for the opportunity for our expansion, for our ascending. However, we forget that when we are here in this 3D realm and we get caught up in the drama. That's why basically I create, that's why we are looking at the title today, right? It is the devotion over our drama, bringing back the connection to our higher self and reclaiming our self-sovereignty. Because when we are in these emotional mirrors, the play, we forget that there's something bigger playing out. And whether we are trying to help this relationship move forward to something extremely healthy, or else in the end, the ultimate right path to do is to go separate ways, it's seeing the bigger picture. And in just that statement alone, I want to really signify that a part of our ascension is really leaning into the law of detachment, because often we are giving away so much of our life force because we become attached to an outcome, because we get caught up in the human desires that we forget on the bigger field there's something much more significant at play. So I really want to hopefully talk, I want to just bring out 3 points in how we can reclaim that self-sovereignty, come back into our higher self when we're in tumultuous or in conflict with that who we love and we care about. Okay, I've got my notes, and the 3, so the first one I would like to bring attention to is the energetic gravity. This is kind of, and what I mean by energetic gravity is, this is where we put our focus on, right? Where energy goes, or what we pay attention to, energy flows. I'm terrible with that. Anyway, where you put your energy to, you're basically telling the universe, this is the center of my universe. This is what it's all about. So consciously or unconsciously, you put your energy towards something that may not be growing, that may be actually at a standstill, totally stagnant, and you're giving away your life force. And you're also saying, I'm without, that I'm not complete. I need something to make me feel a certain way. And in that moment, you really are giving over your sovereign power. You are giving away your life force. The moment we become obsessed and fixated on why somebody did something to us or how something played out, you're putting a lot of energy that should and can, it's significant. It's so important that we put it back to us, that we remember the higher awareness, the higher self. And we can't do that without becoming present. So this is the first thing I want to say, is that the moment we begin to leak our life force, our energy, to a thread of the connection to the other soul, we forget why we're here, what the mirror is here to teach us, and how we can expand. Thus, my challenge is, for the first one, is to ground yourself. The moment you begin to go into fixated modes or you begin to overthink, my challenge for you is to become present. And I actually really want you to visualize this. I want you to visualize reclaiming all that energy back to you, all of your life force. All the memories, all the reminiscing, all the obsession, just let it go. Let that part go and bring back your sovereign energy, your higher self, your godlike essence. To ground and to become, with a deep conscious breath, to ground and to remember, even though there's emotions tied to this, these emotions are here to help direct me to something that I have yet to witness or to bear witness to understand and to fully encapsulate for the embodiment of growth. And I am willing to see what that is by calling my energy back, by redirecting my energy to me, my life force back to me, to see what the gift is here. This doesn't mean that we cut off our soulmate, karmic, or twin. We don't cut off that connection so much as we just give space. We give it energetic space and we say, hey, guess what, universe? I am the center of the universe. I am worthy to have all this energy and to be empowered. And I want to be empowered so that I can be in my best state to help this relationship evolve to whatever it may be that's next. Which brings me to my second point. In this moment, we go into a void. This is that moment of foreign. This is foreign, right? For so many people, because if I'm not giving my fixated energy to somebody, if I'm not obsessed or ruminating on past, what is this presence? What's this conscious awareness? What is it here to teach me? And this is actually very uncomfortable. This is a state that we have to look at our self-accountability, the way we've shown up for not only others, but how we're showing up for ourselves. It's a void in a moment of silence. But this is maybe one of the most beautiful gifts in this whole steps, if you will. It is the moment to say, we can lower the noise and really tap in to our higher selves. As we lower the noise, as we're in the void, as there's not much noise actually, we get to allow downloads from higher self, the awareness, the deeper recognitions of why we do the things we do and why we show up for others the way we do. These are where the answers lay, not so much in the other person. The person is just the gift for you to look at self. Reminder on the other side, right? We are all interconnected. We are all in this together. The beauty about the 3D experience, the beauty about this whole experience is that we get to experience it in the ego identity, right? So we have an opportunity to see a self. And this is where accountability helps our ascension. It's not a place to be scared. It's the place where we often feel left and that we're being shut out, but it's really the sacred space for you to come to get to know yourself, know thyself, and for growth. And finally, once we call back our higher self, all of our energy, our sacred life force, we come in, we create the void for a silence, for downloads, for awareness. And this doesn't happen overnight, guys, but it is an opportunity to get really clear on the questions. What is it that we want? Where do we want to see? What do I really want? And I'm going to use this as an example because it's very common. You know, a lot of people are like, I want this relationship to work. That's a very egotistical first layer of the onion. Really what you want at the end of the day, right, is compatibility. You want somebody that can meet you at where you're at and love you at a very deep resonance soul level. And if this person's not doing that, is that really where you want? Is that really what you want? I'm not saying maybe it is. I don't know. But you don't know either unless you get silent with it. If you dare to take the time to listen to your higher self, to provide space for those downloads. Sorry, my phone gets cut off. So the last point I want to talk about is the teamwork of the soul. And when I talk about the teamwork of the soul, I want to, this is also like the reminding, right? On the other side of this realm, we are all interconnected. We are one. And here on Earth, we get to be sucked into these little avatars and we get to experience it from an ego side of understanding an identity. You and the person you're dealing with. So that when I refer to the teamwork of the soul, it's kind of twofold. One, everything is happening for us. And you've met this person, or this person is in your world exactly in divine timing, exactly where it needs to show up, because that contract of lessons that we can learn from one another in these avatars, our egotistical IDs, it's time. It's now. It's being presented because you're ready. In order for the dynamic of the two to grow, the team work of the soul, if you would, is recognizing that the stagnant loop that you might find yourself in, the obsession, the ruminating, the lack of, and often, it's like, only if they could do this or that or whatever, right? It's going back to the other two things, taking the accountability and recognizing the only way this dynamic, the connection of the two of you guys, can really soar is by being in your highest frequency, by coming back into the higher self and the remembering, into those voids, into the void, and allowing those downloads, those awarenesses. But moreover, you can't control what the other person in the relationship is going to do and how they're going to approach it. But what you can do is take accountability of self, right? And the best way for this to move forward, for the team dynamic, it's not about fixing the loop, but rather that by changing the frequency of the connection, it's the only way the souls, the both of you, can move forward. Because from a higher consciousness can we make choices out of love, choices out of our self-sovereignty, and not in the desperation, going back to that energetic gravity pull of lack, but rather, I am whole, I am complete, I am safe, I am love. And so are they. And to do the most loving thing is to be able to come into that alignment and know that by showing up for yourself, you're also showing up for your person. And in doing so, you get to act as the exchange of a mirror to where they need to be in their growth process. That's the beauty of the dynamic. And it's so unique and so diverse. Each one of us, it's like a precise fingerprint, right? So I think how fortunate it is that we have these specific souls that have shown up to help us. My hope through this video is to remind you why and how to use your power that you are fully equipped to go forward with, to make the dynamic of this soul connection grow with the law of detachment by leaning into the faith and embodying who you are at the soul of it, a higher remembering. To remove yourself from the drama and coming back to the devotion of why you came. I really hope just to put those three key concepts together, to begin to implement it, and to really watch how your relationships in your life, situations, and even your circumstances will begin to evolve by putting the due respect and energetic devotion that you are worth. Nobody will do it for you. But if you watch this, it's because you're ready. And even if you are conscious, sometimes we're conscious of it and we just forget. So Regardless, I want to thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. If you are a subscriber, you know I love you. I love my community. I love my soul brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Please share to claim this, to remind it. Put an emoji, if you will, or even comment if you feel vulnerable and willing to help your soul brother and sisters. You never know how many of us are actually all on the same journey and just so scared of saying anything. But regardless, I'm wishing you love, light, and a remembrance of your journey. And until next time, love you guys so much. Namaste.